Yep, we got an exclusive experience today. I do have a list of questions already set up, but we are most interested in what you guys want to know, what you guys are interested in, and also just letting Kelly share her experience, things that we didn't know that she went through, things that were unexpected, um, extra costs, because money is always a big deal, um, how it was in Tijuana going across the border, coming home after surgery, how it felt. These are just things off the top of my head that I can think of right now. And then, of course, we'll just make sure to be available to answer your guys' questions as well. But I came prepared, as normal. And if you guys don't have anything to ask, I have a few questions to ask. We're going to give it 2 more minutes to allow more people to get in. I don't want anybody to miss anything. So we are very excited to have you guys on today. Um, Kelly, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm actually 8 weeks out now. So happy anniversary to me. I'm I went from a medium faja. I'm in an extra small now in 8 weeks. So incredibly happy. I'm doing well. I'm doing
I love it. A medium, that's two sizes, first of all. For a faja, too, okay?
yes. I was very, very happy. So 8 weeks has dramatically changed my life.
I love it. I'm so excited for you and so proud of you just for
Thank
doing it, making that sacrifice, taking the risk for yourself, and then for your family too, because they get the better version of you mentally, emotionally, and you get to feel great physically. I think it's
you.
all around a win, total win. Okay. All right, so I think we allowed enough time. We're going to get started. You guys go ahead and feel free to chat your questions right now. But I'm going to start out with saying, what motivated you to get cosmetic surgery?
This has been a journey for a while. As most of you guys know, I'm a bariatric patient also.
Mhm.
So I had bariatric surgery 3 years ago. Met my weight loss goal. I started off at 220. I hit down to 125, and within 7 months, and I had an excess. I was very, very happy with my results, but I had loose skin. I still have the pouch. I still had um, no butt. I'm just saying, no butt. I loved it and I would do it all over again. But this was just the final step that I needed to be happy and comfortable. So, and I'm happy that I did. Now I have the body of my dreams. I never imagined 3 years ago I would be sitting right here at 51 years old. So that's what made me just, it's my last step to
Just
my,
feeling yourself, yeah.
yes.
Especially after kids. I know
Especially
it's
after
tough.
kids. Yes.
You got five.
Five. And if you know what they do to
Everything.
everything. So it
And your
was,
mental.
yes, in my mental. So, I just came to a stage and a point in my life that I wanted to look better, feel better. And yes,
And you took that leap. So glad. So
thank
glad.
you. With you holding my hand every step of the way.
Absolutely. And that's my favorite part, right? It really is being able to reassure you of your decision because you go through these moments of doubt. You
You
go
do.
through fear, uh,
Anxiety.
anxiety. You get nervous and you get excited and you want to share that with someone. And sometimes I'm just the go to person because I know what you've been doing, how much you paid, and and it helps, right? Having that person there to say, hey, you're going to get through this. It's going to be great. Once we are through the door, you won't even think about what we're talking about right now. And
Yes.
we haven't thought about it since, and it's been great.
Not one time, not one regret, no anything. And you do, like you said, financially, you
Mhm.
kind of feel selfish that you're taking that much money, investing it into yourself, especially as a mother. But then again, it is my time. I raised my kids basically. Still got one small one, but I was like, you know what? I'm at a point that I could do this for myself. and I'm extremely happy. So that took that step. Yes.
And it's super beneficial. It's a struggle to be a mom with house, work, and children. I think it's a super struggle to juggle those three things and still find your identity. So being able to feel your best is just it elevates everything else. So home, work, kids is getting the better self of
And
you.
having the confidence of going places now versus, or wearing things that today, I just told you before I came on, I had never thought about wearing a crop top or, high-waisted jeans that's always had a cover up or wears tons of spandex or Spanx. And now I feel really comfortable. I could walk into a store, I could order from Amazon, Sheen.
You don't have to try before you buy.
Before I would never, I know that's cheap code, but I would never do it because everything looked horrible on me.
It
So
was too risky too.
yes, I had to go shop somewhere elegant or go to Dillard's somewhere and find that outfit. But now I'm like, this works, this works, this works. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
know. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your number one fear before going into surgery?
Blotched.
Yeah.
Being blotched, yeah. Or surgery, pain. You hear horrible stories about, getting botched or you get hurt,
Mhm.
stories about the pain or, just different things like that. So I knew on the bariatric side, it was not aggressive. It wasn't painful. But what you hear about tummy tucks, BBLs, lipo, I'm not going to lie to you. It is aggressive surgery. It's very painful.
It's tough.
First week is you're medicated, your medication, you're okay. Second week that comes along, I'm not going to lie. If anybody's thinking about it, that's the time you're going to say, you know what, I regret this decision. I
Yeah.
regret it. What you feel like basically is a can of biscuits that's trying to bust out because that's when you start swelling. So
Yeah.
that second week is very hard. Then you get to the third week and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm good again. And you forgot about that second week and the fourth, fifth, and now it's just like having a baby. You forget that pain, you forget that,
You go downhill. Yep.
So now it's just like a dream that I had, So, but I'm not gonna lie, second week is the worst.
Second week. Good to hear. That's good advice.
Yes, because you still have your drainage. So when like me, I had to wear mine for 14 days. So when
Mhm.
having those, they're very uncomfortable. If anybody ever had a drain, it's just uncomfortable. But the
Yeah.
second I had those out, the swelliness, the puffiness, that went down. So then I started feeling a whole lot better.
That's a good point too, and I'm glad you brought that up because the drains are a big deal,
Yes,
right?
yes,
They're so important for your healing process. Less mess, and we encourage you to keep them in as long as you can.
yes.
Um, so that's also a really good point. I'm so glad you brought that up. Okay, are you happy with your results?
I'm very happy. I had Dr. Guerrero. I actually have extended tummy tuck, muscle repair, and lipo. So I'm actually cut from here. I have a, it's called a
She had a circuit. It was it extended or circular?
extended. So right
Okay.
here, from here to here. So, and it was very low, very, very, very clean stitches. You can't, I mean, perfect. If I need to show you, they're just a clean line, and I'm basically healed. No, all the scabbing is gone. Um, yeah, it's beautiful work. It's beautiful work. Of course, you know how they got to redo your belly button. My belly button, you can never tell that that's not my actual belly button that was reconstructed. It's and very tight. If you feel it, it feels like a drum. So the muscle repair, what that feels like is actually doing 100 setups, going to the gym the night before, and then you know how you feel the next day.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, so for 2 weeks you're walking like this. They tell you don't try to set up or anything like that. So, but yes, I'm very, very happy with my results. And I will show you guys some live pictures. If you, ask me, call me, I'll show you the incisions. But yes, very clean. The scarring is it's going to be minimal. And where my waistline is, how Dr. Guerrero says, how low do you want it, basically? And, you put on your underclothes, kind of test
Mhm.
it. So it's right there.
Okay, Brandy's asking, how many days did you stay in the hospital?
3. Yes. So I think it's 2. I stayed an extra night just because I had a bit of a high blood pressure.
Mm.
So I ended up staying just for for them to monitor me. But other than that, and then I spent 6 days at the recovery.
Post-op. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Let's see here. Did you have any emotional or psychological like changes afterwards?
Good question. One I gotta think about. Yes, when you have weight loss surgery or when things you change
Change.
for the better, it's not me, but other people react to you differently. It's surprising how your friends put you down or other people because you look well and stuff, and they come around and then I get like, oh, this, you just hear things, and that kind of got to me, you know, um, mentally. Um, Sometimes your partners start treating you a little bit different.
Mhm.
You know, it's you want to show your happiness, you want to show your confidence, you want to, but also it makes you seem like you're being what's that word? Over boasting, like when you're
Like a
confident.
bougie.
Yes, like yes. So that kind of, and I'm like, no, I just now have a chat. So now I kind of like don't say much. I just kind of go with the flow. But that emotionally, it's outside people or how they treat you,
Yeah.
and that's what it is mental, from going from weight loss, from having one body going into extremely another one. And then you just basically, I'm not gonna lie, you just hear a bunch of hater stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that
That is really tough, and I've heard from past patients or even currently booked patients how family members, close family members, they really do judge the process, even for bariatric and weight loss surgery.
Mhm.
They don't. I think it's fear, right? Going to Mexico, it's a taboo of it's dangerous, it's not safe, and so, of course, those opinions they could get in your head and affect your mental. Um, and I think that it's just a brave choice to still push through.
Even when they're like, "Oh yeah, she looks like that because she's fake," and
Mm.
I'm like, you know what I mean? You hear comments like that. Okay, yes, yes, a lot of it is. I got cosmetic surgery done, but it's
It's
like I
just
said,
one of those things too, especially coming from the bariatric side. Um, I wouldn't call it fake.
yeah.
It's the second process of your change that you want to feel normal again.
Or it's the easy way out. You took the easy way out. You hear that quite a bit, and I'm like, and if anybody has ever went through bariatric surgery,
You can't lose skin.
it's the furthest thing. It's the hardest thing anybody could go through because it's a way of life. So when you transfer to this side of it and you start doing, it's not an easy process. It's a like you said, mentally.
It affects you.
Yes, it does. But then again, it made me a better person 100%. I'm actually go out. I do things with my children, my grandchildren now. I have much more, confidence in myself. And
Mhm.
yes, it's a life changer. And
Yeah.
happy.
For the good. For the good.
I get more emotional as far as like you're talking about mentally, like happiness and joy, like talking about it. I just start crying. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I cry because I'm like, this,
Can't believe it.
like, is
Mhm.
this me? And yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Great. What advice would you give someone who's on the verge and considering it?
Just do it. Don't even hold back. I know most of the time what it is financial.
Mhm.
Yes, it is expensive surgery. But also it's like 75% cheaper going to Tijuana. You're going to get better care. What I would say is like I did, it took me 3 years to save up for it, 3 years sacrifices that I made as far as not doing my nails for a year, putting that money back, not shopping as much. And I made it
Mhm.
happen. And I'm glad I did. And every penny, every, was worth it.
Yeah, I got a DoorDash addiction. So I know I'm planning on I'm definitely going down to see Guerrero next year. I'm going to get my tummy tuck. So um,
Oh, so happy for you.
I know it's exciting. So I will have firsthand experience coming next year around this time, being able to provide advice like you are. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Post surgery, what were some of the unexpected challenges that you faced? Some things that I wasn't able to prepare you for.
Okay, the one pain that was for one. Second of all, on cosmetic surgery, you have to have a companion. There's no way around it. You cannot do it by yourself. A nurse does come out and checks your vitals every day. They, helps you with your faja, gives you a bath, cleans up your wounds, and does everything the entire time you're there. So none of that you have to worry about. But it's very hard to get in and out of bed. Of course, you need somebody to feed you, like bring you food, things like that. So you definitely need a companion. Second of all, I didn't realize the expenses of it. After post op is kind of pricey because you graduate into different stages of fajas. So
Right.
yes, so they do provide you one. And if anybody has ever looked into cosmetic surgery, knows a good faja is about $180. It's
Mhm.
you know. So when you get there, of course you need to bring another one with you, but you change stages so quickly that it's kind of like you know what I mean?
You got
So
to adjust.
yeah, so don't buy too many at one time. Just let it go. Get your one during that 1 hour you're taking a shower, throw it in the washing machine, put it, wash it. When you're in the hospital over there, of course, you wash it by hand, hang it up, and then use your other one. That's what we did for the 7 days over there. So that was one of the expenses. Second expense was that I didn't expect is what you need, especially if you're doing just a tummy tuck, that's different. But if you're doing a mommy makeover or a BBL and lipo, you can't sit on your bottom and you can't lay on your stomach. So you pretty much don't have a way to lay down. So you have to accommodate, you have to figure out things. With us, we end up buying a lawn chair. My husband actually put cushions on it, wrapped it up like a bed, cut the bottom of it out. So the bottom, I'm sitting like this the whole time for 8 weeks. That and then things like that was not expected. I knew what to look for. I just didn't know like the cost of it. So that we make sure that when you do think about cosmetics, that there's a lot more that goes into it afterwards, or if you could get that used or not fajas used, but like go online. I saw that a lot of people are
Mhm.
selling things like that. That's one of the options I would have done if I would have known, because now I'm 8 weeks and I got all this stuff that somebody else could use. So I would have kind of looked into that, buying it, from somebody,
Secondhand, yeah.
because I just could have changed out certain things, because
No shame.
there's things like this. This is called. This is
That's the BBL pillow.
baby pillow. So this is what I live on for work and everything. I had to get for the shower. My husband did get me a chair because when you first have the surgery, you're not able to stand that long.
Mhm.
And then you're like this. So that I definitely 100% say buy and things like that. Yeah. What else did I not expect?
So, additional faja, which
Mm-hmm.
is a compression garment for those that
Yes.
don't know what faja is. So we got the faja, a BBL pillow, and backrest. Those I always recommend that, and then a chair
Yes.
because you got to sit sometimes. You're not gonna be able to stand a lot. So having a chair would be something to think about and invest in. Kimberly
Mhm.
Jones is asking, can you send a link for the garment that we should get? And how do we know what size we need to start with?
Sizing is very, very hard. That's a good question because every brand has,
Different.
yes. And so sometimes you get an extra small and it might fit like a medium, or you get an extra or a medium and it's going to be like an extra small.
Mhm.
So I use, let me get to the correct one.
That was
Marie,
such a good question, Kimberly. Thank you.
Yes. So Dr. Guerrero gave me my first one, and it's called Marina, and that's the best one so far that I have found. You know that brand, just everything about it. It's I love it. When I went down there, I started off with the medium. He's the one that sized me. I cut when you looking on the chart of Marina, it will ask you exactly to do measurements. So just take a tape measure, measure every part, and when you put it, you'll see a chart, and then that's the size you get.
Good, awesome. Vivi, if you do have a chance, can you Google that and put a link in the chat? That would be helpful so that people can go and take a look at it themselves. But I did type in the brand name for you. Okay, what else? Let's see. What kind of support did you need from your family and friends during recovery?
Ah, my husband was amazing. So that he gave me all the support I needed. When you get home, you're not able to, do much. So you're gonna need somebody to help you as far as coming on over and cleaning your house or, doing your extra errands for you. Do
Hmm.
not drive, do not do anything. There's no lifting whatsoever. I still don't lift and I'm 8 weeks out. So you definitely need moral support. You need help, just as far as doing errands or helping you clean house or doing your laundry, things like that, helping you in and out of the shower, till at least 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very hard to put on your own faja for the first 3 weeks.
I do warn patients about that, and I always say, don't
Like,
get
help
the
me.
full body ones. It's going to be crazy trying to get into those full body ones. If you are getting a breast augmentation and tummy tuck with BBL or liposuction, get the bottom half so you can get that one on, and then get the top one as well. Having the two separate garments are a lot more easy to adjust to get in and out of. There we
This
go.
one that Dr. Carrero gave me. This is a medium, so
So that's what comes from the hospital.
this is what comes.
That's good. That's good to see. Thank you for having that available. Did you experience any complications
I'm trying to think.
with
None.
your drains?
No complications. I mean, there was swelling, and I have, you know what? I did have one complication. When I got home, one of my drains quit draining.
Mm,
So, and there was they're like no pump. So the pressure of it wouldn't drain any longer. So I talked to Dr. Guerrero. Me and Dr. Guerrero did FaceTime all the time. So that's how I had my after wound care.
hmm.
So he'll call and he'll be like, let me see what's going on. And we're like, and that's how I had. But one of them, so what we did is I just, on the very bottom, I just cut it and let it drain by itself. And I'm not going to lie, I had to wear a diaper.
Hmm.
And that's how I protect it from getting wet. And I did like bed sheets and stuff like that. It sounds, but it's not that bad. It's because by then it was just a small drip. So that's how I
Right.
protect myself. Yeah, because one of my pumps went out. But if that happens, it's not a big deal. Just like I said, I just cut it and took the pump off and just let it drain naturally. Now you can't cut it short because he said it could get affected or anything like that. So
Right.
just make sure that you always, that's why I wore the compression and make sure that they're always clean. That's one thing you can't, the doctor would tell you, make sure don't nobody touches you.
Hmm.
Nobody touch you at all before they wash your hands. You constantly wash your hands and always have sanitizer. So
Hmm.
don't like just touch or rub or don't let nobody touch you. And that's one of the things they did make clear to me. So cleanliness.
Yeah. Infection is so serious when
Mm.
you have incisions like this. So that was great advice of Guerrero. I do love
Yeah.
him. He
And
is
that's
awesome.
one of the things that you people talk about, like, oh, yeah, there's so many complications with cosmetic surgery. Yes, there is complications, but it's the aftercare. It's your responsibility after you have surgery to make sure that you're in an environment that is sterilized, is clean. I didn't go outside for 3 weeks, and I'm
Yeah.
being honest, 3 weeks because I wouldn't risk of any. I didn't want sweat. I didn't want, so I just stayed indoors. You know.
No, it's so smart.
Mhm.
That's really good advice. Let's see here. How long did it take for you to feel normal?
Now.
So 8 weeks, about 8 weeks, right? Which is that 6 to 8 weeks that I always recommend. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks for your healing process to.
um, Thanksgiving, I was 6 weeks out. I That was the first time that I really had an outing and went somewhere.
Mhm.
and it was tiring. I did okay, but it was, kind of, but I started hurting, and the next day I was hurting a little bit because I just think I overdid it.
Sure.
So I would take at least your whole 8 weeks, make sure that, before you actually do anything. Like today, I feel really good. I'm not feeling any kind of pain at all.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What were some of the unexpected challenges?
Oh, you know what? I did one time. My husband was not with me and at the hotel, and I needed to just move around. I needed to get up, get out of bed, and sit somewhere else to be comfortable.
Mhm.
That first week is just very hard, very uncomfortable. So I actually got on a chair that was in the hotel at Pueblo, and I put I bought the, what did they call the bobby pillows?
Poppy. Mhm.
Puppy pillows. Okay, that's one thing too. Before I say it, when you go, I wasn't expecting it. I brought just this for me on the plane. So when we got over there, I didn't have anything for me to sit on or do, regular, because this is not comfortable at first. So make sure that you bring one of those or purchase one when you get over there because you're gonna need it. So
Mm.
definitely, we went to Walmart and bought one of the baby poppy pillows for breastfeeding, and so
Yep.
that's what I sat on. So that was one of the things, but also I found myself in a rolling chair trying to sit down. My husband came into the room and I was literally like this, and I couldn't get out. I couldn't get up, and I was like passed out on the floor. And it was like he looked at me like, yeah. So don't try to do things by yourself the first 2 weeks because you will get stuck somewhere.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
I was
Well,
like,
you get cabin fever sometimes, so
that's another thing. I started feeling that probably the 2 weeks indoors, 3 weeks, that I started feeling that cabin fever. And then I just felt like I have to get out somewhere, do things. And yeah, we went for a ride for a little bit and stuff like that. But
I remember you sharing that with me.
yes, yes.
That's good. That's good. Okay, let's see here. How did the results compare to your actual expectations prior to?
Oh, girl, further than I have ever expected. I did not respect. I had no idea. I was very uncomfortable about getting a BBL. Very, very uncomfortable. My biggest fear was I didn't want to look like an ant. And I'm being honest. A lot of girls get BBLs and they're just way too much, you
I
know?
call it the bell pepper.
Exactly. So I stressed to Dr. Girl like no other. Like I just want a little one, little. So basically, I'll go ahead and show you. I did not have this at all. Like none of this. This was like flat as could be. Okay. He said that I had dents right here and I had dents here.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what he told me. He said, and he filled them up. And so he gave me some hip, and so it's not massive. So I did not expect that. In my head, I was just thinking different. I never thought I would have hips. So when you ask me, no, when I first woke up and he showed me the actual pictures of it, I was just amazed. Because when you first wake up, you're not swollen. It's the actual work. Then after 3 or 4 days, that's when you start getting the bloatiness. So a lot of people that post stuff on the internet, what I saw, like you can't even tell that you got one. It takes that bloatiness. It does make it seem like like it's not, but you got to give it what he told me.
Right.
3 months is if I love it now, he said just wait till you're 3 months and you're gonna absolutely love it. He goes, I'm mark my words, and I'm like, okay. So I can't even imagine in 6 weeks it's gonna be even better. Like,
Yeah.
you
And then
know,
the scarring is going to diminish over time. I think they say give it 6 months for the scarring to go away. Um, and then Kelly McKay, she just brought up a really good topic. It wasn't necessary with you because you work with us, but FMLA paperwork, taking time off, right? How much time did you take off, Kelly?
well, I'm a part of the company and I work remotely, so I'm a outreach patient coordinator.
Mhm.
So I took 7 days that I was actually over there, and then I took 7 days home. So 2 weeks for me. If you actually go out, I would probably do the whole 6 to 8 weeks. You
And
know,
it's an easy process. You'll send your FMLA paperwork that you get from your employer. You'll send it to me, Kelly McKay, who we work with as well. She's here. She helps assist with processing that paperwork for you, getting all of the necessary information, getting it approved. I think we've even had short-term disability options as well. So there are many ways that we can help assist you with taking the time off, and we try our best to make it smooth and easy for you, so you don't have to worry about that piece. Let's see here. What else can I say?
I see Robert is online right now too. I just want to say hi, Robert. Also, like you'd be surprised how many men go and get yes,
Thank
Chris.
you for saying that.
Yes, I am like, and I'm like, wow. And I've been seeing that a lot, and I'm like, incredible. I've seen a couple of guys that went down there and they look amazing.
Yes, we just had one last week. I won't share his name, but he was so nervous, also a bariatric patient, and went to get a tummy tuck, and he got a fleur de lis. They call it a fleur de lis. You have the scar down your abdomen and across your
Mhm.
waist. It's like a T shape, and then they close it together, right? That's how they tummy tuck it. And he's so happy to be able to wear regular shirts and sizes that actually fit him.
Oh, that's a good question.
So Desiree, yes.
Yes, Desiree. I would not recommend a couple getting it together. No, it's a hard process. Both of you guys be unless you have other help or kids or somebody that could help you, but you're gonna need to help him and he's gonna need to help you because it's hard to even, get in the
Can you
shower.
imagine the arguing when you're both in pain trying to help each other
Yeah.
out?
Bariatric surgery, yes, I recommend doing it together.
Yes.
Cosmetic surgery is a different story. It's well worth it. But no, I don't recommend a couple doing it together.
I'll say this. I think it definitely depends on the procedure, right?
Yeah, yes, that's true too.
Liposuction, breast augmentations, those are easy.
Yes.
Those are easy. But when we're talking about tummy tucks and BBLs, those create different challenges.
Oh, good question, Ashley. I waited. I had my surgery, bariatric surgery, July 2021, almost 3 years, well, over 3 years ago. I had this surgery coming out 3 years ago, and I'm 8 weeks postpartum right now. I had to wait because of the cost. Second, I was so excited to wait for Azar to open. So that was my main
The new hospital.
the new hospital. I had been to the old one and I wanted to see the new one. So that was part of my journey I was waiting for also. So that's 3 years.
And just logistics speaking, we do ask that you at least give yourself a year,
Yes.
at least a year after any bariatric surgery, especially for bypass patients. There are a lot of changes that you go through, and you want to give yourself that time.
You
Um,
Good question. That's good answer. You want to give yourself that time, like you said. Also, you want to make sure that you met your weight goal and then you
mhm,
exceeded it for at least 3 to 6 months or more.
exactly.
You know,
That stability is going to be crucial. You don't want to get cosmetic surgery too soon. Your results will vary then after that, right? Because if you lose more weight, you might not get the desired look that you might have been looking for to begin with. So awesome. That was a really good question, Ashley. So yes, obviously make it feasible for finances, number one. Number two, give yourself time to heal and get to that goal weight, and make sure to allow time to find the stability in that new goal, in that new weight, in that new way for you. Let's see here. Let's talk about the extra costs that might
okay.
come in. I know that there are set medications, transportation, surgical procedures that are inclusive in your package. What did you encounter that was additional?
Additional charges. for cosmetics, it's like when you get to the hotel, of course, you're going to provide your own food. So, and especially if you're taking your spouse or your companion or whoever you bring, so you do provide your own food expenses. The good thing is my companion actually went to Walmart. We had a refrigerator, had a microwave. So we brought a lot of food in instead of getting room service all the time. There's a lot of places that you could go and eat around there. So that was one expense that we had to pay for. Second of all, if you bring your companion, of course, tipping you want to do, it's not um, required. It's not mandatory, but it's just, a nice gesture. So that my husband had to pay for cab fare or Ubers just to go different places. They provide transportation for him to go to the hospital, but since cosmetics were there for almost a week and a half, you want to do, what was it, 8 days I was there?
Mm-hmm.
So we came in a couple of days beforehand so we could view everything and have a chance to actually see San Diego and Tijuana.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that we did. So that was extra expense. The extra faja I had to buy there, the pillow that I had to buy there. What else was
What
extra?
about medications, pain medications?
The only
Nothing.
thing that I had to pay for out of pocket for the pain medication was my blood clot.
Anticoagulants.
Yes. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to do that. You have to do that for 3 days. So when I was released, they gave it to me in the hospital, but when I was released, I had to purchase it for the next
Mm-hmm.
days that I had to take it. So but I can't remember the cost, but it's not extremely expensive. This is one of the things that is pretty expensive. And on the way home, I purchased first class seats. Um,
You're so smart.
it's crucial, especially if because those seats that come in three, there's no way you're going to be able to get home in that seat. Even if your spouse has to stay back in coach, I that's yes. So I did go first class, and it was a whole lot more comfortable. I was able to recline, have my chair, and nobody being like right there. So that's yes, or at least go to captain chairs. Or I think they're called business class chairs. One of those,
Mm-hmm.
you want to upgrade on your way home.
And
So
also, extra tip for travel: always request wheelchair assistance
thank you. Yes,
ahead
yes.
of time. Let them know you're going to need wheelchair assistance when you land on your way to the gate. Um, Super helpful. And, of course, the airports are super accommodating with that request. So that's awesome. We've got just one more minute. Any extra questions that anybody can think of, please go ahead and throw it in the chat. Let's see here. Last question. Is there anything you would do differently?
Mm, anything I would do differently? I'm trying to think. But actually, no, I can't think of one thing that I would have done differently. Everything just went so smoothly, like from you helping me, from it was nothing that I could have done could have gone any better than it did. It was the best choice going to Mexico Cosmetic Center. How every person there treated us, it was amazing experience, and there's not one downfall that I could actually say that I would change at all.
I love it. I love it. I really appreciate hearing that too, because not being physically in Tijuana and being able to be there to greet patients when they arrive, you create this rapport, this relationship with them as you're in the booking process. Um, it is hard to ensure that your process is smooth, but knowing that we were able to accommodate and exceed, I think that that is the best compliment. And I love hearing and checking in on patients after they go home and hearing their success stories. Again, Guerrero does amazing work. Love his line work. So I've seen like fresh out of OR, his surgical lines are so straight. So it's just really nice to be able to see this. Thank you, Kelly.
Welcome. You can also find Dr. Guerrero on TikTok too. I've seen a few videos of him on TikTok if you
He's
want.
very dapper.
Very.
Very dapper, that guy. Love him. He's great, personable, and he takes really good care of his patients. But I appreciate you for even doing this with me. I don't think everyone knows, but Kelly is very shy. And she was nervous about this process, but I was just so grateful to be able to share this with future patients, and past patients as well, because there are some people here that have already had their surgery and that are here. Thank you, Brandy.
Yes.
We are so happy to do this.
If anybody wants to talk to me personally, feel free to reach out to me. Honestly, feel free to reach out to me. Give me a call and I'll talk to you one on one. If there's like personal questions you want to ask me, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions because I know there's a few questions that you might want to ask.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful for that too, because then I have a resource to be able to send patients that do have extra questions about the experience, and being able to send them to you has been super beneficial. All right, Ashley, I can't wait. Just reach out and we'll get you booked. But that is it for our time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for the topics and the questions. And also, thank you for your support.
Thank you. Yes.
We're so grateful to you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. And this was actually a really great conversation. I'm really happy with it.
We'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely. I'll call you later.
In the 3 months post op, that's where we get the final results. We're going to see where we're at in 3 months.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you again. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mexico Cosmetic Center. Thank you, Mexico Bariatric Center. We are available to you guys at any time. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. Happy holidays.